And I have a red light. We're recording. It is February. Yeah, I so want it to be February. That leap year just leaps back into my mind. March the 3rd is the date, so that means it's Thursday. Welcome to the Cook Report. Welcome to my co-host, Kelvin.
Good morning.
And today is Thursday. It's the B2B edition. And that mystery about, well, it's different days of the week. We have different shows. It's all going to be revealed in the show notes today. I'm going to give you a file that has it all spelled out, chapter and verse. And what we're going to talk about today is, in fact, one of our services, I guess you say. One of the things we do to get interviews for the Cook Report is I send 27 questions to a prospective interviewee. They pick out 5 questions and say, well, I'd like to have these 5 questions be my interview questions. Send it back to me by email. Then we hook up and we make the arrangements to make that happen. Why do we do that? Why don't we just do, well, where are you from, kid? What are you doing? What's your company? Well, we do this because we want to increase the transparency that your business or your service has with prospective customers. So one of the questions is, what do you do for fun? On the interview, he says, well, I like to go fly fishing on the weekend. Really? You're a fly fisherman? Who knew? Well, if you just keep going on and on about your business and your company and your products, you never bring up fly fishing because you don't sell fly rods, no one will ever know. And the people that have that common ground with you might go, well, you know, all those other guys, they do website development too. But this one fellow that I saw the interview with, he's a fly fisherman. So that little level of commonality comes up and they'll seek that common ground. Also at the bottom of the 27 questions, which will be linked in the show notes, included in that is sort of the TV guide, I guess you'd say, for the Cook Report. It says Monday is a blog roll, Tuesday is tactical tips for SEO, Wednesday is the mind. Yesterday, Wednesday, the mind didn't happen, and that's the long fought battle with the power company and a big, huge cedar tree that took out some power lines. Anyway, we're back today on Thursday, March the 3rd. Happy to have you here. Thanks again to the co-host, Kelvin, for being with us. And then on Friday, we do a weekly news wrap-up where we just kind of do a quick summary of what the previous 4 days were on the show, on the Cook Report. So now that's going to be part of the show notes, is those 27 questions. So look at that, and maybe you want to be an interviewee. Maybe you would like to be part of the show, and we'll do an interview with you. Just pick those 5 questions, email it in, and we'll make it dance and make it happen. The other thing I wanted to talk to you about real quick today is many people come to me and say, I don't want to build a whole big website and stuff. I just want to promote one single event. Our club is going to have a flower sale to raise money. I just want to put that on the internet. How do I do that? How do I do a checklist, if you will, for social media event promotion? So that gave birth to the social media checklist for event promotion. That'll be in the show notes, a link to that PDF file. It's 3 pages. I'm probably biased. I think it's pretty good because I put a lot of energy into it and things that I do for my own event promotion, so I know they work. I'm not just going to throw you to the wolves and say, good luck with that. I do a lot better with being a solution provider if I give you a solution rather than a maybe, don't you think? So some of the things that are talked about in here, now to make this really work for you, you should think in terms of having a Google account, having a program for notes called Evernote, and it's spelled in there what you do with Evernote in the file. And then there's an app from buffer.com, buffer.com, called Pablo, and it creates images that will be used as part of the event promotion checklist tasks too. The list then goes into, what do I do with a Google Plus account? What do I do with a Facebook account? How do I make Twitter work? What's the best ways to use Tumblr? An important consideration about some of these social channels is it's not so much that they're different as the age group they're targeting. Some of them are a lot younger demographic than maybe your ideal customer is, so you can use them or not use them as you want to. The one that's in here that I want you to not let go is YouTube. YouTube has, at last count when this document was created, 1 billion with a B users visiting YouTube a month. You can't ignore that number. If you're going to promote an event, right? So you're going to have the MG Club meeting in Cambridge. There's a very good likelihood that there's going to be people in Cambridge that are going to look at that and say, well, because we were having a joke earlier about the 27 question. What's your favorite question? Kelvin says, I could say MG for just about every question here. I says, au contraire, mon frere. What about the question that says, what's your favorite emoji? Well, that was a hurdle we haven't jumped yet, and we're still working on that. And speaking of Kelvin, thanks for being the co-host today, dude. Couldn't do it without you. The shout-outs for Kelvin. See, printing his name bigger made it happen. We know about that battle. And thanks to Edinburgh Dusters. Fraser's done a great job with our graphics. For some reason, Blab has not let me put those into forever. And I'm not sure why that happens, if I've got a size restriction or format or what, I don't know. But we'll work our way through it. And Kelvin, I got to tell you, that Fraser guy, he not only is the company that likes to clean, he does a pretty darn good graphic when he puts his hand in it. Thanks to Kevin Scullion at Passing Places in Scotland. If you're traveling to Scotland, give Kevin a holler, passingplaces.scot. That link will be in the show notes. And, in the chat, thank you, Patricia. She says, someone said that the graphics have been discontinued and only the profile pictures are used. Well, that solves that mystery. So, I'll have to smile big. And big thank you to Blab, makes this whole thing possible. They send us an MP3 file that I can upload to the locations that have audio for the podcast, and an MP4 file for the YouTube. So we get the MP4 file they send us, and then I tweak it a little bit and remix it and add some titles and so forth, so we can be stars. Because you can't be a star unless it says starring, right? I want to thank you to Stitcher Radio for taking care of our podcast audio file, and to podbean.com. The Cook Report's on Podbean, and that means it's automatically included in iTunes. You just have to do one setting one time, and then it feeds the RSS feed right into iTunes. The Blab profile that I have, Guy R. Cook, has all the recorded shows in there in an archive. Thank you for that storage. So look for the Facebook posts, the Twitter posts, and so forth about today's episode for March 3rd B2B episode of the Cook Report. And on that note, well, was there anything else we were supposed to add, Kelvin? Did I forget anything?
No, apart from the 3 magic words.
Oh, yeah, that's those 3 magic words. Oh, I got it. It's a wrap.